What's up, everybody? FSC Trucking. Today we're going to get into the normalcy of the FSC Trucking channel. We got a lot of stuff to talk about because things are getting big around here. Never believe it, but I never thought when I started this channel about 4 years ago, never thought I'd be getting to this level, but things are improving drastically. So we're going to get into it. We're getting ready to fire up Orwell there behind me. Orwell's the 1984 Peterbilt 362 Cabover. Going to fire him up, get today started. We're going to go load a striker truck going down to North Carolina. But that's really not the big stuff today. The big stuff today, we'll talk about once we get going. With that, let me get ahead and fire up Orwell. We'll talk down the road. Let's go. First off, I guess I'll tell you real quick, Orwell's been really dirty recently. We went down to Texas and back twice, and the last time we got there where we unloaded that was an absolute mud pit. I didn't get to film it. I can't really film on site there where we unloaded, but trust me, it's a muddy mess. You can tell Orwell is just not happy right now. When we load that striker, we're just gonna come back here, take care of some business. That's the big news, the business we gotta take care of, and then we're gonna get rolling again. But yeah, I'd like to get Orwell cleaned up. There's just not enough time. Maybe on our way down, once we get rolling, we will, but today ain't gonna happen. So either way, just kind of deal with that fact. Alrighty, boys and girls, I had to go get my oversized flags and banners out of the dually. I should have done it yesterday, but I didn't. I did it today. It's okay. I ran a local load yesterday with Orwell. I didn't film it though. I probably should have. Looking for the shoulder straps. It's been a while since I've driven Orwell. By the way, used to be a big complaint, finally shut the haters up with that one. Lap belts. That's all Orwell has. It's an 84 truck, not a 2024 truck. And I don't have to paint my seatbelts orange either. Alrighty, let's get down to business, shall we? That or some means, oh no, you didn't make your bed. Oh no, whatever shall I do? Well, we're gonna get in with today a little bit. Sadly, since I fixed the air fuel control diaphragm. There's no more rolling coal. Just gives you the haze when you pull out, and that's all we get anymore. No more beautiful coal footage. Oh no. Well, I guess it's fixed. Be happy. Well, it's been a while since we've done any videos with Orwell, because it feels that way. Match started on March 21st. Today is 10th of April, I think. No. Today is the 11th of April. Oh, I gotta fix my calendar here. Yeah, so Matt's was 21. April, there we go. Today is April 10th. So we haven't been in Orwell for about 2 weeks, a little bit more. And since we got back, we were a bunch of busy beavers. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen. So we're trying to get it figured out. Last we filmed with Orwell, I don't know how it's going to chronologically do in the videos. And I want to talk about that quick. I haven't been dropping videos one right after the other. By the time we got to anything match related or Orwell's 2 breakdown related, we'd be waiting a while. So they filmed so much content that we wound up with a lot filmed that I haven't gotten to edit or release yet. So I kind of use those as I'll get to them videos when things start to dry up and get a little bit tired. Plus, it seems like if I skip around a little bit, there's certain days when certain videos drop better. So that has a little bit to play with it. Some things have to be time sensitive, others can be done wherever. For an example, when I hired that street sweeper, aka the sucker truck, I didn't drop videos on that until almost 3 months after I had hauled it. Other things were more pressing, so I did that instead. Matt's stuff kind of had to come out a little quicker than everything else. It's just everybody, again, had time sensitive stuff. So that had to be dealt with, you know, in the proper manner. Now, at the time of filming this video, I had just got back from Tennessee, like yesterday. We ran a local load, and I didn't film it. I just didn't really. I literally got home, fired up Orwell, ran a quick one, and came back. Went home last night, had me a nice dinner. It's been a couple weeks since I saw, well, not maybe not a couple weeks, but it's been a little while longer than normal that I saw Jen, and I just wanted to come home. Had a couple other errands to run, no big deal, nothing important. Big stuff on the channel coming, I want to talk about that. I've been talking a little bit about a new mechanic coming up. We got full-time help coming now, boys and girls. We got Chris. He's coming in. We're gonna introduce. We'll introduce him to the channel, I guess. He's gonna get up here Saturday. Today's Wednesday. He get up here Saturday. So Saturday we'll introduce him to the channel. I don't think I formally introduced him to everybody while we were at Matt's. He was there the first day, Thursday. Then he had to start moving because he moved up here to Wisconsin from Ohio, and that's why he's starting to work here with me. So Chris is going to take over from me. He's going to handle the overwhelming majority of the shop work that needs to get done between the automotive side, the truck side, truck builds, maintaining Orwell and the trailer. That's going to free me up a lot of time to do what I have to do between driving the truck and editing videos, and that's going to make a huge step in the quality and the quantity of work. The fact is, since Max 23 last year, I feel like I haven't really gotten a lot done. I've acquired the Ford truck and I've acquired the trailer that came with it. I'm talking about the CL9000 Cabover. The channel grew some since then, but Orwell, sadly, really not much has been done to them. I did acquire 5 stud pilot wheels with Peterbilt ovals. I need a few more. So there's a debate in my head right now as to what do I do with wheels and tires. I'm picking up this truck with the steer tires that are on the truck right now that's been on there for a couple of years. And this is going to be the last miles done on them. One of the things I did yesterday is picked up a new set of steers. Sadly, Michelin doesn't make the size tire that I require, a 24 Low Pro. Michelin's getting out of the 24.5-inch rim for a while. They're still using COVID as the excuse. Okay, that's getting old quick. But however, we still have a labor problem. We still have a lot of people getting paid to sit on their ass, and a lot of people who still want to go to work. It's kind of like a half and half situation, it seems like. There's too many people want to work. Too many people want to sit on their ass and not work. Too many people want to get paid to sit on their ass and not work. And in my opinion, it's still a blight on society. And that's the excuse Michelin's giving why they no longer make 24.5-inch tires. And I'm over it. So I have to buy their competitor. Slider is still cold, so that's a little trick if I remember to do it. Bring it down in the big gear and then split it once it's in the next gear. Just helps sync it up and make it shift smoother when it's cold. Once it warms up for functions, it's fine. Been that way for quite a long time. And it's not the first truck that's been like that either. Well, with Chris in the middle of moving, he stashed a lot of stuff inside of my shop. One of the things, including he had, was his travel trailer, big toy hauler he's got. That's been sitting outside for a little bit. So we're gonna have to move some stuff around when we get back. But yeah, we're gonna put steer tires on Orwell, and we're gonna step up the shop game. Want to get projects done. Kind of have to keep on point in which projects get done first, to be honest. But we're working on it. But it's going to be a huge thing. Chris being up here is going to be absolutely huge. Things played out for me was me and Jen loaded up and went to Matt's. We didn't know exactly what was going to happen afterwards between moving Tim Gentry's big yacht hauls or not. So when we went down, we took the dually, my big trailer. My son was getting married that weekend also. He was getting married actually Monday. So we had to get to North Carolina for that. So we didn't know what exactly we were going to do. If we were going to, after the wedding, go off-roading with my son, or whether I was going to escort Tim Gentry's boats. We didn't really know what was going to happen, so I brought everything down just in case. Worst case, we move boats, we leave the trailer and the Razor over at Tim's place, and Jen would drive the Mercedes home. If we did off-roading, then Jen would drive the Mercedes. We would do off-roading, put the Mercedes back in the trailer, come home with the Razor. Unless Sean wrecked the Jeep, then we would bring the wreckage of the Jeep along with the Razor home. Jen would drive the car. Didn't know how it was going to play out. Ultimately, Matt got married. I went down to Florida and filmed the Florida leg of the Gentry boat haul that I escorted from Florida Georgia line up to Tennessee. I, at that point, had crap I had to come home to handle. They found another tail escort and continued on up to Connecticut with the boat haul. Hopefully Finus is having no problems. He really likes when I'm doing the escort loads for him because he likes how I drive. But that wasn't available. I had to handle some business and I had to come home. And of course there's the crap show of Matt's and the aftermath of it. Look at the comments between the channels talking about Tim Gentry, you know, Gentry and Sons Trucking. If you aren't following him, I don't know why you wouldn't be, but if you're not, that's where it is. SH2 channel and the truck that they're building for Weston Champlin. Of course, that's a monster YouTuber out there in Kansas. And there's so much behind the scenes there, and I'm amazed watching comments that people, they watch a little bit of YouTube and they think that they know everything, but they don't. And I think people think trucks get built in 20-minute videos because maybe that's how it appears on YouTube, but it takes a lot more than that. Now, personally, I'm not involved in any of this. I helped out a little where I can, but I'm not really involved in it, except for the fact I'm getting real tired of watching people snipe at friends of mine. I'm getting real tired of people that think that they know everything, go after me or friends. And I'll be honest with you, man, I'm not like Tim Gentry in the fact that I try to be nice. I don't have to be nice. There's nothing saying I have to be nice. The way I see it is real simple. I will stick up for my people, and I think my people will stick up for me. But like I said, I don't have to be nice, okay? So if it comes down to, leaving dumb comments, hey, I'll respond to you probably. And I'll make you look dumb when I take your comment that only a handful of people see and put it on my channel for all the world to see and you look at the idiot that you might be. I'll go from there. I'll go to standing 6-on-1 in the middle of the street when you people think that it's okay to attack a friend of mine for saying basically nothing while other people run around hooting and hollering a lot more. And just because some people think we're literally living in the movie My Cousin Vinny, that doesn't mean it's actually true. So I will stick up for my people and my friends, and that's just how it goes. I don't know why people think that they can pour that kind of haterade out there, but you know what? Let it be. You want to do it, that's fine. But I do respond. If somebody thinks they can out Steve Feschek, well then go try. But you're going to find out my world's a lot tougher and harder than most people believe it to be. Like everyone else, I'm out here trying to earn a living. And I'm not saying I'm any better than anybody else. What I am saying though is, I'm a truck driver, I put my cameras up and I film what I do. I film what every other truck driver does. But then you got the little whiny, little sniveling little brats sitting in mom's basement thinking, oh, I could do better. Okay, well, then go do it. To put it real simple, Tim Gentry has a family. He's got a whole business, a fleet of trucks, and he worked on a truck for a YouTuber. Well, when you put a lot of time into one truck, your business falters. If you put a lot of time in the business, then the truck build you're working on doesn't get done as fast, and people will cry about it, and they will whine about it, and then when your whole damn shop burns down, you have to try to recover from it. Or you could have just said, F it, I'm done. Even Weston himself said he thought, when he heard about that fire, he thought his entire truck went up in smoke. And he said that in written text. He said that on SH2's video yesterday, and that's the way it was. Why would anybody be so mad at how things went out with Weston Champlin's truck when Weston himself isn't mad about it? In fact, he's happy that the truck is at the position it is right now, where 98% of it's done. It drove, it went circles around the whole complex at Louisville in the parade. Why would people on comments on YouTube video get more mad at anything when Weston himself isn't mad? I don't get it. But yeah, if you're gonna come at my friends with dumb crap like that, or even one of these clowns got all pissed off and bitching on SH2's channel because Weston used 2 little trigger words that you got so triggered on, wah, go home and cry. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Go do something with your life, man. I tell you. But sitting down there for a while, making the videos for Gentry and helping him out for a week down there, I don't know how that man puts up with the nonsense he puts up with. Wow. That is something. In the end, I had to take care of business up here, so I left. I was going to haul the extra load, but it didn't work out time-wise. I couldn't be in 2 places at once, and that boat was getting expensive to sit in Tim's yard. It had to go. So I had to come up here and handle my crap. We had these loads that had to be hauled, and I was the only one here to do it. I'm not sure if in the future, I know Chris has his CDL. I might get him qualified with Whitmire to do some kind of local stuff while I'm busy. Or like a load like now, he can go down, get it loaded, and bring it to my place. I don't know if that's what we're gonna do, but it's an idea. Also, I've addressed enough of the past and the negativity surrounding the past. I'll tell you straight up, the same thing I told Tim Gentry and everybody else personally. If Tim wants to do another truck to be a match next year, I told him plain English, I'll say it on this channel. What I feel he ought to do, now opinions are like buttholes, we all got one. This is my personal opinion. This is the opinion of FSC Trucking and Steve Feschek personally. What Tim ought to do is show up to match next year with the Air Force Cabover. It mostly is completed. The paint job looks phenomenal. It is an awesome paint job. The truck needs an interior done, a wiring harness installed, and a handful of other small items. And then that truck is done, ready to rock and roll. And I think because Tim has separated himself from the Cabovers, I think unintentionally, he wanted to get Rooster done. That engine was extremely expensive. He sold the white Cabover. I think he had no other option. It had to get sold. He sold the white Cabover. He got Rooster's engine built, and that is an absolute hurricane under the hood. But sadly, Rooster isn't a Cabover, so I think he needs to get that Cabover done. He needs to get a Cabover back on the channel. Johnny Cash is so old, and with a 1693 engine in it, I don't know how well you can run a truck like that, being it's so old. Age isn't having to do with it, it's the fact that it's a 1693 cat. So I haven't looked into how easy those parts are to come available. So, but I personally think that the Air Force Cabover, the original truck to that channel, he should get that finished. And then I made a proposal to him for next year. I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, I'm saying I'm thinking about it. So don't go, oh, FSC said it, go. No, I didn't. I talked to Tim about this exact possibility last night.
I have the merch trailer in my shop, the former chapel trailer. That's going to be a merch trailer. I'm going to call it the merch wagon. That's not just for me, it's for any of my friends to help sell their merch out of at shows or other events. They can power only move it around, whichever. But that's the idea. It's also a massive space problem in my shop. It takes up an entire bay. So once we get Snow White and the Suburban out the door, I want to focus on getting that trailer out the door. I talked to Tim last night about the prospect of us getting a booth and splitting it. Or maybe a three-way split between me, SH2, and Gentry. Either way, figure out a way to make the booth big enough to get an entire truck hooked onto my merch trailer and get it all indoors. I'm thinking about it, so I'm not saying it's what we are going to do. I'm simply saying that I had that conversation with Tim. I had not had that conversation with Rob or anybody else that might want to work together in a big booth collab, but it's possible. But that's what I'm thinking. Either way, whether we do it or not, I got to get that merch trailer fixed up, roadworthy, and out the door. It's hogging up my damn shop. And with Chris coming in full time, I think that's an achievable goal to meet, whether it goes to the show or not. There are other shows and things that we might be able to get into this coming year having to do with Orwell. We'll see. I do want to try to get Orwell out and about into other shows. We definitely got to look into it. But that's what the future is looking like, and I'm pretty optimistic about it. You gotta remember something. Tim Gentry is a friend of mine, and regardless of what people say, regardless of what people think, I stick with my friends. The old saying is, you stick with the one that brought you to the dance. I'm not saying Tim Gentry made my channel. In fact, mine was around first. However, he's been a good friend of mine and continues to be a good friend of mine and helps me in a lot of ways that most people just simply do not understand because it's not openly, massively public. With the fact we work good together on and off camera, he's a friend of mine, and I'll always defriend a friend of mine until something happens to change that. But I don't see him doing that to friends. In fact, I see him taking it on the chin for his friends. That's my humble opinion, whether you like it or not. In a handful of times I've talked with Rob over at SH2. We're going to try to work something together where we do some stuff together. I'm not trying to get Orwell a lot of free work. I want Orwell to maintain the stock and factory look of a classic old truck with a handful of things here and there. Rob's got a bunch of ideas. We want to basically put our heads together and figure that out. But I consider Rob a friend of mine. He's got a channel he's trying to grow. He's got a business that's been there longer than I've had a channel for, as I understand. We're going to work that together. There's other people I'm talking to that I met at Matt's that, you know, we're going to try to work together to grow the channels, grow the businesses together. I am in a position now, the fact that my children are grown, I don't have to be conservative any longer with how hard I try to grow this channel. And since last year, this past year since Matt's, I should say, I kind of fell into a stagnant mode. That's why we decided to pull the trigger on hiring Chris. We're going to push the content, we're going to push the work. We're going to push building up a trucking company bigger than what it is right now, being a single truck leased on with Buyer Express. But I had to get back. I had to get working done. I ran that extra load yesterday. We're going to run the striker down to North Carolina, and we're going to start today with that growth. Since I got back from Matt's, we're going to continue working with Timmy with the wide loads, with the Escort loads. I don't know whether we're going to actively pursue putting well, we're going to actively pursue putting a specific vehicle built for escorting. Might call it a shop vehicle, also the escort vehicle. I guess that kind of makes more sense. Just think about it. When it comes to the shop, I'd like to have Chris driving one of my vehicles and not his personal vehicle to go get parts. So it makes sense that to have a shop car, which would also double as an escort vehicle. So we're going to try to do a lot of growing. But I felt that I needed to address the aftermath of everything that's been going on and what I plan for the future. So in the end, I want to get that chapel trailer done. I want to get a shop car built. I want to get that shop car being used as a escort vehicle. We'll use the I'll probably use the dually or back and forth. I'm not really sure exactly how it's going to play out. But for right now, I'll continue using a dually till we get a shop car / escort vehicle built, and that's the idea. With that being said, I am going to be looking for a throttle body injected, square body, station wagon, Chevrolet Caprice. But yeah, I would prefer, I think, the throttle body. Just basically factory Chevy Caprice square body. Not looking to pay a fortune for it, and I don't want something to rot it out either. So with that, that's the kind of car I want to build. It should be relatively easy to find. There are guys that deal with vintage police cars, rescue vehicles, that I can get lights for it, as long as it's all amber. No blue, no white, no green. It does have to be amber. But the mounts and everything should be readily available, and the fact that they used to be police fire rescue vehicles, at least the Caprices were, not necessarily the wagons. But I want to build a badass vehicle like that. So that's the basic plan. So what do you guys have? Let me know if you know or find some. Shoot me an email, festechshop@gmail.com. What is this coming at us? Looking good, looking good. Nice. So Matt's 2024 is in the record books. Looking forward to a good, prosperous year. We'll see what happens for next year. Of course, Matt's isn't the only show. Like I said, we got other shows to go to and check out for this upcoming year, or it's summer. It's only barely even spring yet, so we got other stuff to do. Well, let's see what this year can grow, because I'm really trying to make this year a banner year, make it the best ever if possible. Continue to grow, continue to work, and do like we've been doing it. Let's make this year kick ass. But first steps first. We gotta haul these trucks. Let's get back to doing what we do. Hauling trucks. Making videos. And, of course, because it's just the natural order things, pissing off the haters and the crybabies and the easily triggered. Let's go! Yeah, some piles of snow.